Hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana for the second time today. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Whitefish. There we go. I think I may have figured out how to make sure that I see the comments in the May Day Hot Weekly Deals Facebook group. So if you are on with me, start commenting so I can see if it's going to work. Hello, Missy. Yes, it's working. I just thought, why don't I open another tab and go to the Hot Weekly Deals and look at it that way as a viewer instead of from the live thing. Yeah, if you've never done live, yeah, don't worry about it. I got it figured out. I can see comments now. Yippee! But now I've got 3 different tabs to be watching. So forgive me. I have 4 if I wanted to go to my biz page and 5 if I wanted to go to YouTube, but we're just going to do this because I can see comments. So hello, Missy. Let's go ahead and switch because we've got another card to make. And if you thought the first one was a wowza, this next one's going to be pizzazz. So let's check it out. All right. So I'm going to be using a bunch of different things this time. We're going to use this embossing folder. We're going to use it this way. This is the Timber 3D, and it is on the last chance list, so I can still use it because you can still get it, but it won't be for long. Hi, Gail. Hi, Christy. Great to see you on here, and great to see that you're commenting. Yay, thank you. I've been dancing around to my music here while I do all my commenting in the group. So you might have noticed that you got some little notifications that I've been commenting. So anyway, so this one is the Timber 3D embossing folder. It is still available as of today, but it could go at any time because it is on the last chance list. So you'll get to see how that looks when we use it. It's a little bit hard to see on here. Then this one is carrying over, and it is called the Thoughtful Moments Dies. And it is the dies and embossing folder. It is what we call a hybrid. So I'm going to show you how this works and how to use this one, because this one's a little different than other ways, because you'll see, and I'll show you the difference of it. But this one works a little differently. And then we're going to use the flower and the leaf dies, not the frames. You know, I could only use so much at one time, so we're gonna try and keep it just a little bit simple, and then we'll make sure that it works nicely. So we're gonna be using these dies, this embossing folder, this hybrid embossing folder, which is dies and embossing folder, and we're gonna use the same idea. So let's go back. This was our first card, just flat, plain, simple, but still nice, right? I mean, I still like it. I still thought it was a great card. Then we stepped it up like that, adding in the embossing folder and the simple sentiment die that just added a little bit of wowza to it. Now we're gonna step it up and call it some serious pizzazz. All right, so the first thing we gotta do is bring in this wonderful, lovely favorite machine of ours. We're gonna put it to use today. So let me zoom out just a little bit. All right, let me get that over here. Christy, you were just thinking earlier that I needed me to show you how to use the hybrid. Oh, okay, yeah, I will show you. Hi, Mary Beth, great to see you on here. I'm so excited that I thought to open up the thing so that I can see it. Am I frozen? Okay, no, all right. I think I froze because where I put my mouse. So I want to zoom this out a little bit. Oop, not too much. Zoom this out a little bit. There's a little bit of a delay between the between what I see in front of me and what's actually happening over there. So forgive me. All right, so we're going to start off with the embossing folder. It is a 3D, so it's really stiff. All right, doesn't move much. So we're going to use the plate 1. We're going to pull out our green here. Now so the wood could go sideways or the wood could go up and down. I want it to go up and down because typically that's how wood goes. So we're gonna put that in here like this, but we wanna run it through with the fold. All right, so we're gonna set it here like that. with the fold here, and then we need our number 4 because it is a 3D. So we're going to run it through. And I like to use my left hand, so I get some exercise there. I know a lot of my people who come to the house hate it on the left side. Right, Gail? You hate it on the left side. All right, so here's that wood, that timber look. Doesn't that look great? That goes great with flowers. So this is, like I said, the Timber 3D. It's on the last chance list. So 1, it's on sale, and 2, when it's gone, it's gone. So it's while supplies last. So we're going to use this one. And then, oh, I just realized I forgot to grab a piece of white for our sentiment. All right, so this one is a little trickier. All right, Christy, Christy, I don't know if you have this one. This one's a little different from other hybrids in the sense that it's words. And if you want the words, hold on one more second. If you want, not here. If you want the words to show up, so if you don't do what I'm about to do, this is how it looks. You can read the love you, but it gets a little bit lost. I like to give it kind of an outline, but I don't want to sit here and use my pen and draw around all the letters. So I'm going to show you how to get the outline. If you don't want the outline, you can just put your paper in. You can either do the whole thing, all right, and have all those words, which is what I usually do, is I just go ahead and put a piece of paper the whole size. Today I'm not. All right, but you can get this, and it looks better on colored papers, and you'll have to play with it as to whether it works well on dark or light, which shows better. But let me show you how I like to do this. So you put your die, the flat edge, down on this side, and it kind of locks in. You can see here it locks in. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my secret C. All right, and I'm going to ink the thank you, because that's what I want to use. I want to use the thank you. So I'm just going to ink the thank you like that. Oh, am I doing it on the wrong side? I'm doing it on the wrong side. Well, we'll see what. You can do it on either side. This side, I think, oh, this side gives you the outline. This side gives you the whole color. But that's okay. I'm going to do it anyways because we've already started. All right. And I can show you what the other way looks like. Then I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to fold this over like this. I'm going to keep it closed, flip it over, because here's my fold. And we're going to put it in here. It's a 3D. Oh, you know what? I don't think this is going to work. That's okay. I'll just show you what not to do. Because I think I just realized why it's not going to work. Yeah, that's why it's not going to work. Okay, so you can see I have the ink on the wrong side. Because now when I turn it over, there's my ink. That's not how I wanted this to happen. So, but you can see that you can read the thank you. So we'll see how it looks afterwards. We're going to take off this paper. I'm going to grab another piece of paper. Come on. Where's another piece? Here we go. So this is what I like to do. I like to make mistakes for you so I can show you what not to do. Because how else are you going to learn except maybe waste all your own paper? So I'll just waste mine, although that one is not really a waste. So now we need to clean this up with our little chamois cloth. This chamois cloth comes with your glass mat, which is really an amazing thing. All right, so now let's try this again. Now let's ink the proper side. Oh, are you laughing at me? Give me some laughing emojis. Come on, give me some laughing emojis, because I know there are some of you, especially those who really know me, that are laughing. So now this is what we're going to do. We're going to ink this side. See how it's inking the lines? We're inking that side. And it's not something you want to do with these pads all the time. If you get the ink spots in the kits, those are better ones to use because this could tear it up if you did it all the time. So if this is something you're going to do all the time, you don't want to use your ink pad all the time. You want to use a brayer, a brush, a dauber, or the little ink spots to do it. All right. Now we're going to set this back in there. All right, like that. Then we're going to go ahead and put our paper there. Then we're going to close it up and you'll see the difference and how it looks much better. All right, I'm going to put this in here. Yes, I see those laughing emojis. You love it when I make mistakes. You do, I know you do. You're cheering me on when I make a mistake. All right, here you go. Look, so there. That's the look I was going for. I wanted the outline of my word. All right, so I can show you again. Here's what it looks like without the outline, and here's what it looks like with the outline, and then in the white. So some of them will show up really well. I think it depends on the color. Oh, come on, this one isn't coming up. Here we go. I think it depends on the color and it depends on the look that you're going for. I prefer this, and you can do any color with that. So this is the one we're going to use. I'm going to put the other ones over, see, in my little word thingy. So we've got this one. So I'm going to set that aside. All right. So that's how the hybrid folder works. You just kind of lodge that die into where it belongs. All right, so now we're going to do some die cutting of the flowers. So we need 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then I picked a little bit lighter. So this is Granny Apple Green. I picked Lemon Lime Twist for the leaves. And Missy pointed out that I had an even number of leaves, so I'll make sure to put an odd number of leaves. I picked it out so it would kind of show because I didn't want to have the same color. So we have here some different colors. We're going to use the same colors. Where'd my dies go? Here we go. So we have the little one in orange, and we're going to use both of these dies, the outline and the texture. So we can put those all on here at the same time. All right, let's see. Gotta figure out, nope. Here we go. This one, nope. There we go. So you got to figure out how it goes, and you want to center it. And then what I'm going to use is a Post-it note. That's not the Post-it note I want. Hold on. Hold on. Post-it note, Post-it notes. Ah! All right, we're not going to use Post-it note. We're going to use the Post-it tape. All right, because you want it to stay put. So I'm just going to do that. All right, then I'm going to do the yellow one on the Darling Duckling. Almost called it Daffodil Delight, wrong color. Again, we're going to pull off both of them. Now, I don't keep them on this paper. I put them onto magnetic sheets inside my cases. I just have not done that with this set yet. So this weekend I need to do some organizing and some cleaning. I still have a disaster. And I got to get Card Club out into the mail because then there's a holiday coming and I got to be able to get it out to everybody. So here we go. We'll do this like that. And we're just using the tape to just hold it in place. All right, to just hold it in place. So we can move that up, move that up. We'll do some leaves. There's 2 leaves of these kind, and I want to keep them the same. There's other leaves here, but I want to keep them the same. So we're going to go with these, and then these. All right. Doop. Here we go. These are really small. Come on. Here we go. And again, I want them kind of centered because they're going to give the die cut some texture. All right, they're going to give the die cut some 3D texture. You'll see in just a moment. So let's run this through. So we have plate 1, 2, 3, the paper, the dies, and the next 3. That is our sandwich. And we're going to push it through. Well, roll it through. We're not really pushing, are we? We're rolling it through. All right. Way cool. You like that, Christy? Now you know. Now you know. All right. Are you ready for the magic? Look at that. It cut it and textured it. Look at that. All right. Can you see that good? Here we go. Now let's do this one. There's that one. There's that one. And there's those. So, but we need more leaves. We need 3 more leaves, so we have to do this 2 more times. All right. I don't need to use my nails for that. I've got a take your pick tool for that. All right, there we go. Now let's do this. I'm just going to leave it attached to the sticky tape and just move it down one. How smart is that? And then we can just run it from this side back through. All right, here we go. Too bad it didn't have 3 of them. I'd be done. We got 1 more. All right. Missy pointed out I didn't do odd numbers and I always do odd numbers. I was like, what? I kept thinking I wanted to add another leaf to that card and I couldn't figure out why I wanted to, because that's not the way it had been designed. But I didn't design it. I just used it. All right, so now we only need 1 more, so I'm going to take one of these off. And I have another piece of paper here. And this is Lemon Lime Twist that I'm using instead of the Granny Apple Green, just so it could be a little lighter. Although now next to this one, it's a little too light, but we're just going to go with it. I could have gone with a darker green. I didn't think about that, but I don't want to take up an exorbitant amount of your time because I appreciate you being here watching. Whoops. Now tomorrow afternoon, I'm probably going to be doing a craft and chat. I will post that here in the group. If we do, I'll use that as one of my posts. What does craft and chat mean? That means we're going to be on Zoom and you can come and work on whatever crafts you want. Anything you want. It's totally and completely up to you. So I wanted to, besides doing this, we're changing this up just a little bit because we're using the colors. So and we're going to put this down on here. All right, here we go. Nope, wrong thing. Glue, that's what I'm looking for, my glue. All right, so I want this side that's popped up more. Can you see that? I want that side versus that side. So I'm going to put glue on the flatter side. But because it's embossed, you want to make sure you have enough glue so that it will stick down. Because embossing breaks down some of the paper fibers. So you want to make sure you have plenty of glue. But as you can see, we don't want a lake. There's not a big puddle of glue. There's just some fine lines. So a line is fine, a lake is a mistake. So you want to make sure to have that. We're going to do this again like that. All right, here we go. Just like that. All right, now, do we want the white? So now you're on. Now I can ask you, love the texture, Gail? Yeah. Nice, pretty new top plate? Yes, right. I had to get a new top plate because the other one cracked and broke. So, I'm thinking we might need that white underneath there. What do you think? Should we do it with the white or without the white? All right, I'm going to stick stick, okay, we're going to use dimensionals on the flowers and on the sentiment. So help me out. Do we want white under here like this, or do we want to just have the flowers? Help me out, because now I'm like, a little confused, a little unsure as to what to do on that. So help me out. What do you think? White or no white? All right, love the green with the blue. The green with the blue. What green with the blue? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Missy. Unless you're talking about this secret foam, or secret sea, that's kind of a blue green, a really dark blue green. What do you think? White or no white? I'm waiting for your answers. White or no white? So this is what it would be like if we don't do the white. We would have this, maybe this way, like that. And then we'll have the leaves under here. Maybe this one over there, one over here. Trying to grab these. One over here, and this one over here. And then we'd have the thank you right here. Does it need more white, or is that good? So that we aren't coloring, so I feel like that might be good enough. White so you can see the leaves better. Yes, the green with the card base. Okay. So you think it needs to be on white, but then we're going to have to color this because that would be too much white. So let's bring in, where's that scrap paper? Don't know what happened to it. Grab out another one. Whoops, almost lost all those. All right, ooh, I'm gonna have to take those off. Because if you leave the if you leave those on the bottom, they will probably make a mark, and we don't want any marks. So we're going to take this off and go like this. Ooh, here we go. Just really light. All right, like that. All right, and then we need the white, which was oh, it'll be a little skinnier. It was 3, so it's a little less than 3 by 4. I wasn't really going to cut the flowers though, so I don't think I'm going to cut the flowers. I don't think I want to go there. Before we stick it all down, we'll see. All right. Is that? Yeah. All right. So, help me out here. So we'll have this, and then we'll have that, and then we'll have this one. Oh, and then we got to put the dimensionals back on the back here. All right, so this card you get to kind of help me with. All right, so then we'll do 2 leaves up here. We'll do 1 leaf. I'm going to turn this way. And we can do a leaf here, and then we'll do a leaf down here, and we'll do one, turn this way, we'll do one over here. So what do you think? Is that better with the white? Let me know. You'll vote again. You want Gail, did you go green? Let's see. So green with the card base. So Gail said white. You vote again. White. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep it with the white. All right. But I am not going to, because I popped up all the flowers, I'm not going to pop this up this time. Do we want this textured? Do we want this textured? Help me out. Quick. Vote. Quick. Texture, no texture. We could do the eyelet. We would have to do a different texture. We could do the exposed brick. Snowflakes wouldn't be good. Waves wouldn't be good, I think. Or plaid, exposed brick or plaid. Do we want to emboss this or keep it plain white? Maybe plain white. Let's just go with the plain white. Although the exposed brick is calling my name. What do you think? I'm waiting to see some votes. Some votes. Do we get any votes? Gail, Missy, Christy, votes. What do you think? Oh, I just saw a mad face, a shock face. Christine it. All right. He says Christine it. I think I'm going to do it with, do we want the same one? Do we use the wood again or exposed brick? Exposed brick is what we used on that other one. Maybe the brick. That's going to be covered. It's going to be mostly covered up though, but we could do it there. Then that won't be so covered up. Let's see. We'll have the brick showing. Brick and wood. Brick and wood. All right. I know. You just get to going and it's so much fun. All right. So let's see if I can do this over here. Woo! Dropping things. All right. Let's see if we can get this working over here. I'm going to do it off to the side. I can always cut a new one if we decide that's too much Christining. Some of you are probably like, why are we calling it Christining? Well, it is called embossing, but we have a teammate who embosses everything, so we call it Christining. Oh, I think that works. All right, so plain or embossed? Plain or embossed. It'll just show mainly the brick. Everything else will be covered up. Oh, I think that works, actually. All right, so we're going to glue this straight down. Now it's embossing on embossing, so you definitely want to have enough glue, but again, not a lake. Not a lake, just a lot of lines. All right, here we go. All right. So you can mix, as you can see, you can mix your embossing folders and it works just perfectly. All right, so we're going to do that one right there. We're going to do this one right here. We're going to do this one down here. All right, and we're going to do this over here. All right, and then we're going to just use a little bit of glue. Right here on the edge, on the tip. I'm going to put that one right there. Oops, that was a little more glue than I intended. And we're going to do this one right here and another one over there, because a lot of times I like having two. I'm not really hip on the one leaf sticking out, so I like to do two where I can. I was having some troubles with that one. I kept feeling like I needed to add. All right, do this one, and then come on. Sometimes you want to be careful not to squeeze it too much, but you want to make sure you squeeze it enough, right? All right, So there you go. Now, if you wanted more color on these, you could stamp, or we could use some of those gems in the centers. Let's do that. Ooh, where's my take your pick tool? I don't know where my other take your pick tool is, so I guess I'll be using this one. All right, let's do that. We're gonna add some gems to the center, and I'm just using the same color, the Timid Tiger. Ooh, instead of because we stamped the dark one in there earlier. You could put the dark ones in there, but I kind of like that actually. So what do you think? So we have plain flat, still pretty. We have our Wowza, stepped it up, used a nice fun simple die that added a little bit to it, and then we put some more texture around here. All right, and then we went all the way, total pizzazz, 2 different embossing folders, and we added in the hybrid embossing folder. We did the dies where it cuts it out and texturizes it at the same time. All right, oh my goodness, how fun was that? So here you go. And they all work great. And the person who would receive these cards would love them no matter what, right? Because it's a handmade card from you. Yeah, centers for the flowers. So we added the centers. I think that looks great. You could even add some gems on any of these as well. All right, I just wanted to give you an idea. So thank you so much for joining me. 3 very pretty cats, duh. I think you meant cards. You are such a cat lady, Christy. You put cats everywhere. So, all right. You like the pizzazz the best? I think the only thing that I could see doing to the pizzazz one to give it a little more definition would possibly be to stamp them and then use the dies. So that would be something that you could try. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could do. This was what we did for today. So this is it for me for today. I'm not going to bother you anymore today with any lives. I have one more live tomorrow morning for you. And then, of course, my posts letting you know about the craft and chat. I got to just double check things here at home, whether that's going to work or not. And then I will also be talking a little bit about DSP tomorrow, Designer Series Paper, kind of like that stuff I showed you. And then on Sunday, I'm probably going to go ahead and go live, but I haven't decided yet what I'm going to show you that day. So make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're commenting and talking to other vendors as well, not just me. Some of them are also doing giveaways. I trust you are enjoying yourself in this great event, and I will see you tomorrow. So have a great night. Awesome Friday. TGIF. See you tomorrow.